can you tell us what actually motivates you as a professional?
So what motivates me is being able to tackle complex problems. Really, I get bored easily, right? So once I've done something for a couple of years and it's become something that's second nature, I am always seeking for uh, the next challenge out there. And trust me, there are no shortages of challenges, especially within the organization we work for, right? And so my motivation is always being able to provide solutions to complex problems. And that's why when you look at my career track, I've had the opportunity to have multiple roles because I have sought after those challenging issues that face us as both as an organization and also in life generally, right? And so my motivation is being able to know that I am adding value in solving some complex problem somewhere that isn't really easy. And so I see that as what motivates me, which is just going out there and getting stuff done.
Nice. So pretty much I see you as someone that have had a generalist career track. So from some of those things I even got from your profile, I see that when you started with Intel, you basically you worked in the banking industry in Nigeria, came over here, worked in the telecom industry, and then MBA, and then you got a job with Intel,
Yep.
where you were a business unit cost specialist, a desktop finance pricing specialist, and then you moved to another position again as a senior finance manager, partnering with the marketing group, and then transition to a senior business operations manager.
Yep.
This is great, Ambrose. This is great. So how have you been able to successfully transition from one role to another?
So being in the banking industry in Nigeria, I would say that to a large extent was pretty a natural step at the time, where I really wasn't clear being early on in my career. I was excited about the going ons in banking industry, and so when the opportunity presented itself, it was a natural fit. But having said that, upon relocating to the US and moving to get my MBA, I happened to find myself taking courses in finance disciplines, investment management, and I found that I had a flair for financial analysis, and so that was something for me that the MBA path led me to naturally, because there I found my passion for financial analysis. And thereafter, I also realized that I was passionate about technology. And so Intel provided for me the right balance and intersection between technology and finance. And so upon joining Intel, I also chose Intel because of the value of the rotational program that the Intel Finance provided. It's a rotational program that you tend to support different business units within the course of your career, and that was for me was an attraction. And so I started off being the cost business unit for the data center group, supporting, interesting enough, supporting the group that I'm not part of, and I will talk about that in a minute. And so that was on one side of the balance sheet, which was cost. And so after doing that for about 2 years, I realized I wanted to go to the other side of the balance sheet, and therefore I made a switch over to the revenue side, which was more around desktop pricing. And so where I happened to support the group that was responsible for pricing of the client's CPUs for Intel. That was a very interesting exposure for me. And then I moved over from client pricing specialist group to a global manager within the marketing group. And in all of these, I had a goal or a target I was trying to achieve. And so for the pricing, I wanted to be in the core of setting the pace for the revenue aspects of the business. And so moving from the desktop pricing aspect of it to the global manager for the partner marketing group, what I was seeking after was to be a people leader that was global in nature. So in that role, I had the privilege of leading a group of finance specialists across the globe. So from Asia to the Americas and to Europe and in North America, I had reports in these groups that gave me a broader view of Intel's marketing prowess, especially as it relates to the iconic Intel Inside program. So I wanted to understand how Intel marketing, being an ingredient company, was able to transcend from an inside-looking ingredient to meeting the end user experience. And so as I went through each of these groups, the one thing that was key to all of these, and I think I alluded to this earlier on, is being able to take complex business problem and simplifying it and solving it. And once I had been able to establish my brand as a result-oriented individual, and by building a network, which was key to my transitions, building a network where people realized that you were the trusted advisor, that gave me the opportunity to move and transition to each of these groups. So besides my very first role, I realized that subsequent roles that I had at Intel, both as a desktop pricing specialist or the global control partner marketing manager, even to my current role, it's been a role that people have sought me after because they realized I could solve the complex problems that they were facing. And so irrespective of where I found myself, that brand that I built over time now became what I was sought after for.